Hi guys, welcome to Cumbrian Lad Outdoors and welcome to today's video. As you can see, lovely sunny day here in Cumbria. The sun's belting down, 20 odd degrees. There's a few clouds in the sky, but absolutely fantastic. Today I've parked up in the village of Thaxthwaite and I'm actually on the same path that I was when myself and Daz Bewley from the Bewley Brothers went up to Camp Lowfell. Thaxthwaite is just down there. I believe that's Whiteside and Grassmoor. You can see Randall Knott, Haystacks, High Style, Red Pike, Melbrake. Up there's Lowfell. But today we're going on a solo wild camp up Fellbarrow. I'm back out using the Atom Packs EP40 Plus today, and without liquids and without my filming gear, I've got the pack weight down to 5.5 kilos, which is the lightest pack weight I've ever had. So stick around to see what kit I'm using, how I've got this pack down to 5.5 kilos, and as always I'll bring you back along the way to show you the beautiful views of the Lake District as they open up. Let's go! We're on a lovely steady incline of a path at the moment, and the views are really starting to open up very, very quickly on this one, just as I remember. Crummock Water is just into view now. All the mountains that I mentioned before, but we've got this lovely valley here. Everything is lush and green, absolutely beautiful. And we're going that way and around to the left, and then we'll be cutting to the right, which is in the opposite direction of Lowfell. That was the Garmin Phoenix 7 Pro beeping just to tell me that I've turned left. Absolutely loving this bit of kit. It really has become so helpful, keeping me on the straight and narrow on my wild camps. Up until now I've been following exactly the same path as you would take to get to Lowfell. You can see it just there, and it walks up that way and then zigzags up there. So we've just taken a right. There's a little wee stream just down here, and we're heading off up in this direction. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It could be this one or it could be this one. And that sun is beating down. There's barely a breath of wind, as you can see. Absolutely sweating cobs, but this beats wind and rain any day of the week. You can see very clearly now the zigzag path that takes you up to Lowfell. Now we've ascended a bit, there is a little bit of a cool breeze, which is very welcome. And at the moment we are slightly steeper than we have been, but I think that summit there is where we're heading, and the Garmin says we're only a quarter of a mile away from the summit. So I'm gonna have a couple of minutes here just resting, take on some fluids, and then we'll get that top tagged. We aren't very far off the top at all now, about 456 feet according to the Garmin. Beautiful panoramic view over the top of Lowfell onto Haystacks, Buttermere Valley. And we've now got a view over the backside towards the sea, and just the other side of the fence here I can see the summit cairn, which makes me very happy. This last week we have had a lot of rain here in Cumbria, consequently the ground is a bit damp underfoot up here on the summit, but I'm hoping I can find myself a reasonably dry pitch. Here we go, we're just gonna jump over this stile. And then we can say Fellbarrow, done and boshed. Yet another one off the list. And it is beautiful up here, it really is. Just looking back the way we came, 360 views, just the way I like it. Over into the sea. It is very hazy at the moment, but according to the Met Office, sometime between 3 and 4 all this cloud's supposed to go, so hopefully that should clear things up a little bit. But even if it stays like this, absolutely glorious, loving life today. So we're just going to have a bit of a wander about, see if I can find myself a reasonably dry pitch, and then it's chill out time. I've had a little wander around, and despite the whole of this summit being grass, it's all grass, certainly at the minute it's very bumpy in the majority of places and quite wet, so pitches have been few and far between. But I found one nevertheless. It's a little bit close to the summit and a little bit close to the path for my liking, but I've really no other option at this point. You can see the summit just there. There's a few pitches right beside that, but there's going to be too many people coming past that, so I've just come down the path here, and I've got a lovely little flat spot right there, which will do me just grand. I am going to have to get the Fox 1 Plus ultralight up a little bit earlier than I would do normally, because I'm going to seam seal it. It seemed the obvious choice to do that today. There's no rain forecast, blazing hot sunshine, so I've got the seam sealing glue with me and a little bit of white spirit, a little pot, so I'm going to mix that up once the tent's up, and I'm going to get the Fox seam sealed. But for now, like I say, the rucksack's coming off, my sit mat's coming out, and I'm going to sit me backside down and chill out and take in these beautiful views. This is the life. Been sat here for about an hour and a half now, just chilling. Absolutely glorious. Sun's beating down and there's a lovely cool breeze, so I'm gonna have to be careful I don't catch a bit of sunburn. I've had some bird song. This bird's been going absolutely crackers. He's gone quiet now though, but yeah, it's been absolutely beautiful just sat here. I don't know what these plants are. Looks like a cotton ball on top of a stalk. It's still quite hazy over the sea and into the distance. But this is brilliant. I love this. I'm going to get my tent set up. I've not seen anyone for ages, and like I say, I need to get it seam sealed. But before I do that, let's just talk about my pack. I've got the Coast to Coast Hadrian's Wall coming up this year, and generally for summer camping I've been wanting a lighter pack. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a gram counter, I never have been and I never will be. I'll quite happily hike up a mountain with 20 kilos on my back. I'm a big strong lad, no problem. But certain scenarios you do need to cut your weight down. This is my second outing with the Atom Packs EP40 Plus, and I can't recommend it highly enough. I absolutely love it. Couple of little things at the moment, and it's my fault. I'm trying to squeeze too much into it, and with that, because it's like a frameless rucksack, it does tend to put a curve on your back, so you end up with all the pressure on your spine. But because you're carrying less weight, there isn't that much pressure. It's not too bad. not too bad at all. And I do find the clip, rather than the clip being in the middle on your chest band, it comes all the way over and it's kind of half hidden by a flapper material. I find that a little bit annoying, but other than that, no problem. But the difference between this pack and my Osprey Atmos AG65 is the only way to access this rucksack is from the top. You can't access it from the front or the side, so you do have to be a little bit careful on how you pack it. So obviously the first thing you're going to need when you get to camp is your tent or your waterproofs, for example if you're on track. So your tent and your waterproofs need to be at the top of your bag, and then everything else in kind of an order, whatever order you guys prefer, going down. So I'm going to run through how I've packed my rucksack. I'm going to get the tent up, show you guys the stuff as it comes out. What I'll also do is I'll put a link to all the stuff, or as much of the stuff as I can, in the description. If you guys want to check that out, then you can do. You know, just passing on a little bit of information for you. If you fancy, you can just click on the link and see if it's for you. So at the moment I'm chairless, but I've just been sat on my little sit pad, and at the bottom of the EP40 Plus is this little bit of stretchy material. So that's what I had my sit mat put in. I did have my jumper on, and you can see there we've got this elastic zigzag cord on the outside of the stretchy bit. Inside there you can see I've got my baby wipes, and I've got my meals, Wayfarers and a real termite. I've also got my spoon in there and my bin bag for the rubbish. In the side pockets I've got my poles for the tent, and I had 2 litres of water in this side, and I had 1.75 litres of a very dilute Coke and vodka. Of course, at the moment I'm in training and I'm completely off the beer. With the weather being so good, I haven't needed to pack any waterproofs, so right at the top of the rucksack is my tent. So what I'll do is I'm going to get the tent set up, and then I'll show you the order that I've packed my rucksack in. And there we go, that is the Fox One Plus Ultralight all set up. The stuff that I had in the outside pockets, bar from my meals and what have you, is all inside. And the top little tip from me, if you're using the sit mat, I like to just wedge it under there so it doesn't blow away, and then it's easily accessible should you need it. And also if you're sat just inside your tent, it keeps your bum warm. And just inside this stretchy pouch is my spoon and my 2 meals for the night. All day breakfast for morning, and pulled pork from Real Termite for tea tonight. Next in the rucksack is my gas, my cup, and then a few little bits of electrical items, so we'll get those out next. And then that doesn't really leave much. Next out is the jet boil, and as it's summer I've got my midgie net and my jungle formula. Then it's my sleeping bag, Sea Summit Spark 2. Then it's my down jacket. And I know it's summer, but I always take a down jacket with me. Even in the summertime, you can get some chilly nights. And the last 2 things to come out are my sleeping mat and my pillow. The next thing to do is set all that up and get myself all organised. Now you will notice I am still using the Sea Summit Etherlight XT Extreme. The R value for that is way beyond anything I'll ever need for summer, and also the pack size is probably a little bit large. But even though I'm trying to save weight and space in my rucksack, one thing that I am not willing to compromise on is a good night's sleep. And the Sea Summit Etherlight XT Extreme gives me a good night's sleep, so it's staying in. Right, I'll get myself set up inside the tent and then I'll bring you back. And just like that, that's me all set up. You can see here I've got my stuff for seam sealing the tent. So I've got a pot to mix the glue I've got some white spirit there just to make it like a honey consistency, so it absorbs into the stitching a lot better. Don't get me wrong, this is a very tight setup for me, purely for summer and multi-day hiking. Although the vestibule is bigger than I expected, it is still tight, but there's more than enough room for everything that I need and my boots overnight. Sea to Summit Etherlite XT Extreme, as I've already mentioned, a superbly comfortable night's sleep. Sea to Summit Spark 2 sleeping bag and my cheap pillow, and you guys know me, I don't go anywhere without Tactical Duck. If you know, you know. And if you don't, I can't tell you, I'm sorry. Another little top tip from me. Once the tent's up, I throw all the bags associated with the tent inside the tent. First thing to go up is my sleeping mat, and then after that, all the bags, so the tent bags, then my pillow, all the other little bags go inside that. So when I come to pack up, I can take them out in order. Got my rucksack at the back of the tent there, my drone, and a few other bits and bobs are underneath that. I've got my flex tail pump and my electricals, my car keys, my jungle formula and my midget in the pocket. That's me all set up. So now it is time to knock the camera off. I'm going to sit and chill for a little bit, and then I'm going to seam seal my tent and just enjoy these fantastic views. It's absolutely glorious here. So once I've chilled out for a bit and I've seam sealed the tent, I'll bring you back. And that's the tent all seam sealed. You can see there, seam sealed, same the other side, right round that loop. Down here, the loop this side, down there, there. All done, and it's just a little bit tacky now. I'm hoping the sun and the wind will dry it out really quickly. But look at this, man, look at it, unbelievable. We've got this bird singing away. It's absolutely beautiful bird song, just flying around, hovering. Loving life, man, loving life. Thinking about getting some food on soon, starting to get a bit hungry. I don't think I could have asked for a better night other than for some better views over the sea. Yeah, let's get some food on, why not? Real termite, pulled pork, you know where it's at. My absolute favourite, my go-to, you can't beat it. Oh, so good. And what better place to have some food to than this? It's still very hazy in the distance. We are starting to get the glow off the sea. The sun is just and so starting to go down. So I'm going to get myself away and finish my food and try and get the drone up. But I will definitely see you before bedtime. And that's me back in my tent. I've been chilling out for hours and I couldn't have asked for a better night. Absolutely stunning. But for now, it's time for me to get my sleeping bag and get my head down for the night. So enjoy the photos and all the footage I've got for you overnight, and we'll see you in the morning.
within, here we go, but somehow I'm caught in the middle. Is this the end before we've even begun? Should I work against the flow, a drop in the ocean so endless, reaching for our moments miles above? I just need one, diving in to all this endless space, falling stars, but still I see you. Sweet escape, a lovely start, but letting go's the hardest part. Swimming in this deep, deep blue. Hold my breath, looking up. Life moves in waves, it keeps changing. Catch a glimpse of what was you and me. It's gone again, sinking in, back on the shore. One foot in front of the other. Close my eyes and feel you hold my hand just like you used to back then. These hopes dance high like sparks before they go out. But in that second, you're still mine. Diving in to all this endless space, falling stars, but still I see you. Sweet escape, a lovely start, but letting go's the hardest part. Swimming in this deep, deep blue. I know I'm floating on this dream, but soon comes morning. For now I'll embrace our wondrous sea. Diving in to all this endless space, falling stars, but still I see you. Sweet escape.
Well, good morning everyone. Damn my body clock. Currently 4:15 in the morning, wide awake. Slept pretty well, as expected. I've got a little bit of condensation inside the tent. Lovely and hot last night, but it was cool once the sun went down, so yeah, I've got a bit of condensation. Cracking sunset last night, and looking outside the tent door, it's pretty good this morning too. Look at that, absolutely glorious. Right, I'm going to start getting some stuff together and then it's breakfast time. Just enough room in the porch of the Fox 1 Plus Ultra to get a bit of cooking done. I am definitely ready for this. Wayfarers all day breakfast. They never get old, these. Oh. Just looking outside the tent there, and that beautiful sunrise is now hidden by quite a lot of mist. So I'll be having my breakfast and then just pack it up and get myself away home. A very enjoyable camp. I sat and chilled out for ages. Had maybe half a dozen people walk past and they all stopped to chat, and very enjoyable, very enjoyable. Right, I'm going to away and finish this, and like I said, then I'm going to be packing up, so I'll bring you back before I set off back home. Well, it's been a pretty uneventful morning. Those beautiful sunrise views have gone. As you can see, nothing but mist now, surrounded by mist. And it's actually pretty chilly. My hands are quite cold, and that little skylark has been singing its heart out all night and all morning. Beautiful to hear. But now it's time to get myself away home. That is where I had my tent last night. You can see my rucksack is all packed up and ready to go with the bin bag attached to it. So as always, and as it should be, I'll be leaving no trace. Thank you guys very much for clicking on the video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So once again, until next time, stay safe, much love from a Cumbrian lad.